With this session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you for your thoughts on what we should be doing. Okay, and then I'll do it. So, looking at question one, obviously you're going to guide us through in terms of working. So, when you see a question like this, what do you want to do? What's your first impression?
Well, that's a straight line, so it's a linear equation. So
Good.
you
What's the
probably want
formula
to
for linear
determine the
equation?
slope. Y equals mx plus e.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's exactly
it's
right. That's what you're looking at. Okay, so here you've got a line cutting the x-axis.
yeah.
What point does that give you in terms of its
0 and
coordinates?
4.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you said 0 and 4.
Obviously, yeah, x is first, so it will be 4 and 0.
Yes. Okay. So
Yeah,
4 is the actual x value because the line is cutting the x-axis at 4,
yeah, yes.
and it's going through the points 2 and
2
4.
and 4.
Okay, so when you have 2 points, then you can use the m equals brackets y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, and then you're literally just plugging in the values. So y2 would be 4 minus 0. Okay, x2, 2 minus 4. Okay, so I'm just using the point that I was given. I'm using that as my second point, so point 2, and that's point 1. Okay, so 4 minus 0 over 2 minus 4 will give you an m value of minus 2. Okay, so now that you know m is minus 2, how am I going to get c? Do you know?
Okay, so you basically gonna plug in the values of x and y.
Yes, perfect. So you
Yeah,
can decide which option you want to use. If you want to use that option or that option, it doesn't matter. Either option works. Okay, you're going to just plug in the x and the y as you said. So I'm just going to use the first one. Okay, so
yeah.
0 equals minus 2 brackets 4 close bracket plus c. Okay, here you've got 0 equals minus 8 plus c. So 8 would equal c, so c is obviously 8. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so then final answer would be option 3. Question 2. Again, exam technique. What do you think about here?
Probably first simplify.
Yes. Okay, simplify and then, so simplifying means multiply out. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you multiply out when you have exponents raised by an exponent? What do you do? What's the rule?
If I remember correctly, I think you minus them.
No, you don't minus, you multiply.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so when you
Okay.
have a squared to the power 2, because remember this bracket is being squared, so you're multiplying it together. So you basically have this. Okay,
Yeah.
if it's squared. If it's squared, it's the one thing doubled.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, you've got that term squared, so you're timesing the term by itself. Agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have exponents and you're raising exponents by an exponent, you need to multiply. So this will be 2. Okay, this is 2 to the 1, so 1 times 2 is 2, so you'll have 2 squared. Okay, a squared times 2, which will be a to the 4. B to the 3 squared would be b to the 6.
Okay.
Okay, and then you're multiplying that by a3 b12. Okay, at the bottom, you've got 2 to the 4, a to the 12, and b to the 8. Okay, so that's the rule that you have to apply. Okay, when you raise exponents by exponents, you're basically multiplying. Okay, you're adding if it's multiplied. So for example, here, if I've got A4 times A3, I can add those two together to get A7. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so now once I've got this, I can just cancel. Obviously, 2 squared will eliminate that. We'll be left with a 2. Okay, the 4 will eliminate with the 12, so that'll give me an 8, and then I can, so 4 plus 3 is 7.
7.
Okay, so if I minus 7, then I'm going to get 5. Okay, then the B, I've got B 6
18.
and I've got 12, so I've got 18 here at the top. 18 at the top, and I've got 8 at the bottom. So if I cancel
So
that
10.
with that, and I'm going to make this a 10. Does it make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so final answer would be, what do I have at the top? B10
B10. So it's going to be
over
option
2 squared, which is 4, a to the 5. Okay, option
2.
B10, 4a to the 5, option 2. Happy with that one?
Yep.
Okay, I just want to, I can't actually, let me just get the snipping tool. Okay, I just want to take this answer to the working, so at least you have a working to use. Okay, question 3 and 4. Thoughts? You tell me, what's the approach going to be?
Okay, so they want total revenue in terms of P and the company quantity. Okay, so they want the total revenue function.
Good. What is total revenue?
So it's total cost. Total revenue is it's probably price minus quantity.
Price times quantity.
Yes.
Okay, so think about it. If you're selling a certain amount of items, that's the quantity, and obviously the price per item would give you the revenue. Does it make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so total revenue is what you're looking at here. So if I go to the working, step number 1 would be to remember that total revenue is price times quantity. Then you've got to relate what they want here in the question. So the total revenue function in terms of P and the company's quantity when the commodity sells for that price are. Okay, so they want you to give the total revenue function. So if you look at what they've given you, P and Q are the price and quantity. Okay, so you have P is P, and then Q is 6,000 minus 30P. Is that all right?
Yep.
Okay, and then you just multiply out, so you'll get 6,000P and minus 30P squared. Okay, and then they said when the commodity sells for 202 per unit. So they want you to insert 202 per unit. Okay, did they want you to solve for this? Well, yeah, they wanted you to work out quantity. Okay, so you've got the revenue function, so we're going with option 3.
Okay.
Okay, but
Yeah.
to work out, okay, obviously option 3 has to be correct because there is another option, so it should be quantity 25, but we need to calculate that. So in order to calculate it, we can determine what Q is if we insert P in. Okay, so Q was 6,000 minus 30P. They said here P is 202.
Yep.
So if you plug that into the calculator, you get, hold on, that's not right. The total revenue function in terms of P and the company's quantity when the commodity sells for. Oh, okay. All right, so they want to know the quantity when the commodity sells for 202. So 202 is the P, and the P was 202. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that actually. 202 is P. It is minus 30. Yeah, it is minus 30, and that's going to give me Q. So looking at this then, it looks like it would be none of the above then actually. Let's just check again. Unless I'm doing that wrong. No, it is right. Okay. Here they said demand and total cost functions. Yeah, that's the quantity. That's the Q. Okay, you've got the P. The total revenue function is 60p minus 30p squared. Okay, which is option 3. Right, here they said Q is 25. Let's see. And the company's quantity. The company's quantity when the commodity sells for 202 per unit. Yeah, that would be the price. That would be the price that you would have to insert as P. Okay, the only thing I can maybe think of is, do they want to work out the revenue? Probably not, but maybe they do. Let's have a look. If we plug in 202 here, okay, let's see what we get. Total revenue equals, okay, so 6,000 times 202 minus 30 times 202 times 202. What does that give us? Okay, that gives us the revenue. Okay, that's actually a loss. Okay, price times quantity. When the commodity sells for 202 in terms of total revenue, okay, revenue times quantity, you're going to end up with a negative here actually. Okay, so the price needs to be more to break even. Yeah, but that's not what they're asking for. So looking at this, if they tell you the commodity sells for 202 per unit, that is the price. So if that's the price, that's P. P is the price. So if you plug that into that option there, then you get minus 60 as quantity. Okay, can you have negative quantity? No, you can't.
No.
Yeah, so that wouldn't be possible if the commodity sells for 202 units. So if we're looking at quantity as 25, let's see, 25 equals 6,000 minus 30p. Okay, if we were to solve for p here, we would have 30p equals 6,000 minus 25. So P would equal bracket 6,000 minus 25 close bracket divide by 30. That gives me 199. Okay, that doesn't give me 202. Yeah, so I don't think this option's correct, because here they're saying P, they're saying total revenue. That I agree with. That's fine. Okay, obviously total revenue is price times quantity. So your price is your P, and you're timesing it by this quantity. So 6,000p minus 30p squared. That's perfect. That's fine. So I'm happy with that part. I'm not happy with this part. Okay, because here they said the company's quantity, and the company's quantity when the commodity sells for. So if they're telling me that the commodity is selling for 202 per unit, okay, that means this, unless this is 220,2, I don't know. Can we see that works? Let's make this a comma. Let's just see if because sometimes they don't show commas. If I put a comma here, let's see if we get 20. Make it a comma. No, then I don't get then I get a massive quantity. Okay,
Yep.
yeah. So with this option, I would actually choose option 5.
Okay.
Okay, none of the above, because this part is incorrect. Quantity cannot be 25 if the price is 202 per unit. It just doesn't work out. Okay, if I put in the 202, I should be getting quantity of minus 60. You can't have negative quantity either. That's also wrong. Okay, does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, so yeah, so some of these are a little bit strange because when we look at the working here, you can see that there is a problem with the actual calculation. Let me just see, have I done this exam before? Yeah, I have. Let me see what I had initially. If I open up this other Excel spreadsheet. Okay, let's have a look. This was question. Yeah, same thing. Went with question
Okay.
5. Yeah, there's it there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Does that make sense? Are you happy with that?
Yep. No, definitely.
Okay, perfect. All right. So I think because I've done this already, I've got the solution. I'm going to use the solution maybe just to help us also save some time, so that you can try get through more of the questions if possible.
Okay. No, that's fine.
So question 2 we've looked at. Question 3 we've looked at. There's it there. Okay, there's the working. Right, you've got this. I've actually sent it to you as well. But let's practice exam technique. Let's practice your approach. Okay, so question 4. What is the company's profit? How do you work out profit, Reno? Do you know?
Profit is total revenue minus total cost.
Very good. Okay, total revenue would be that answer. Okay, minus total cost would be that. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so when you take this formula and you subtract that, 5,000 plus 2q, you're going to get profit equals minus 30p squared plus 6060p minus 17. Okay, is that an option? Option 3. All right, so question 4, you can get an option. Question 3, you couldn't. All right,
Yeah.
so I do
So they
think
actually
this is
they're
a trick
forcing you
question.
to basically to check the second part of the answer.
Can you say the second part of
Because
the answer? Oh, you're meaning
so
this part.
question 3, usually what you do to save time is as soon as you find the total revenue function
Yeah,
and you
choose
see
that
it,
option.
there's only one option in the list, then you're gonna automatically want to go for option 3.
Possibly.
But now
It
they're
could have
forcing you
been,
to check.
yeah, it could have been the strategy perhaps in this
Yep.
scenario. Yeah, but this question's perfect. Okay, your approach is correct. Revenue minus cost gives you profit. And then if you do the maths,
Yep.
you'll get that answer. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right, here's another one for you to try. Thoughts?
Yeah. So
When you see
Lynn.
something like this,
So first I have to simplify it. So both of the
how?
lens has got the same base of 10. So when you minusing, I think you divide them.
Yes, good. You need to look at
Yes.
those log rules. Well done.
Yes.
Okay, that's important. Okay, so if you identify this question as being a log question where you have to apply the rules, then you need to go
Yep.
to your study guide and then you can search for those log rules. Let me open up your study guide and then I can show it to you. Let's see. This one. 1520, 2020 study guide. Okay, so if you're looking for log rules, let's see, it would have been covered probably in the basics.
Yeah, it's right at the end.
Yes, okay, right at the end. So log
Yeah.
rules, log. Polynomials, percentages, operations. Where's their logs?
I think it will still be
There. Exponents, possibly. There. Working with
no, there it
logs.
is D4
Yes.
182.
Correct. Good. Okay, so log functions. The rules are given here. There we go. 100%. All right, so this is what you would be using. Okay, you'd be taking this okay, copy, and you'd be applying it. Does it make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so how would you apply that here? Just
Okay,
give me
so I would say,
this part.
so X, yeah, so just in between the brackets would be X divided by X plus 2.
Okay, but what happens to that 2 at the outside? You've got to multiply it in, hey?
Okay.
Okay, so when you have that
Okay.
log rule, it would be x squared minus, well, not minus, divide, okay, by the x plus 2. Okay, so this 2 out here, okay, needs to go into the m. So it'll be a x squared. Is that all right?
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so that's the rule. I'm gonna actually keep that there, and I'll even update this. I'll save it. So you've got more workings in here. Okay, so when you have that formula, right, because you've got 2 ln x minus ln bracket x plus 2, okay, that 2 needs to be multiplied into the x because of the rules for logs, okay, the log rules. Right, so that's what you
Okay.
actually get. Okay, once you've got that, then you can solve. Okay, apply normal log exponents. Okay, remember, log is, well, log base e is ln. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I've put a page number for this. Obviously, that was for an older version of the study guide. Your textbook has it on page 183. Okay. So log rules on page 183. Okay, but yeah, the log rules are important. Right, so once you've got that, okay, remember I always write this formula down. 2 to the power 3 equals 8. Okay, log 2 of 8 equals 3. Okay, the reason why I write that down is because then you can apply it to anything. Okay, so when you have this, okay, notice this is ln, which could be log with base e. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so if this is log base e with that answer, see, notice there, I've got log with base e, and then the 8 is my answer. Okay, equals the exponent. Does it make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so here you'll have e to the 0. Okay, e to the 0 would equal that answer. Okay, that amount there. So I'm just taking this and I'm writing that format in this format. I'm taking a log and I'm making it an exponent, a power.
Okay.
Do you see that step?
Yeah.
Okay, and then anything to the power 0 is always 1, even if it's e. Right, on your scientific calculator, you can type in 10 to the power 0, 20 to the power 0, 100 to the power 0. Anything to the power 0 is always 1.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll have 1 equals x squared over x plus 2. The x plus 2 goes to the left. Okay, you leave the x squared on the right, and then you solve. Okay, here you got a trinomial. Right, when you solve, you get x is 2 or x is minus 1. Okay, if you look at the options, I went with option 4 here. Minus 1 and x equals 2. Right, are you happy with the approach? Is that okay?
Yeah. Yes.
I think where most students will probably make a mistake is this step. Taking the log and making it back into a normal equation, basically. That's the only way you can solve it.
Okay.
Right. Would you have been able to do that?
Yes. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
The most
remember,
difficult part is just if you know the rules, just to simplify it.
yeah. All right. This is something
Yeah.
that might catch you. The 2 here. Okay, that 2 needs to go there. Okay, just be careful for that.
Okay.
Right. Okay, 6 and 7. Your thoughts? What is this looking at?
Okay. So, uh, sorry, is it question 6? Yeah, equilibrity. So you have to basically set them to each other, the
Good.
two
So if you make
functions.
p
Yeah.
equal S, then you can solve. Do you agree?
Yep.
Okay. How's your arithmetic? Are you okay with solving for Q?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to reveal P equals PD equals S. Okay, PD equals PS gives you that. If you solve for
Yep.
Q, you get 8. Okay, once I've got 8, how do I get
Okay.
P? I can plug it into
Plug
either
it
or.
back
Do
to
you agree?
anyone. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I got 26, so option 4.
Yep.
All right. I think with the easy ones, we can maybe just go through them quite quickly like this, and we can look at it because I think you can get it right. The more difficult ones, I think those ones we can maybe do. Is that all right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. No, definitely.
All right. Number 7. Thoughts.
Okay. What's the difference between quantity supplied and quantity demanded if the price is 20?
What do you want to do?
So you're probably gonna have to determine the equation.
Explain your steps. What do you want to do? What are you going to do? If you read this question, what is the difference between the quantity supplied and the quantity demanded when the price is 20? What approach or what steps would you do to get to the answer?
Oh, it's based on the top ones. Okay. Okay, so you can probably substitute the price into that function. Yeah, yes. Sorry, I didn't see the top part. I couldn't
Oh,
see. How are you going to determine? Yes.
okay, yeah. Sorry, I
Yeah.
might not have emphasized that. Yeah, 6 and 7 both needed the two equations.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you're
So I'll
saying we're going to
basically
substitute
just
20, and
substitute
then
price into B.
what are we
Yeah.
looking for?
We're looking for Q.
Good. We're looking for the
Yeah.
Q here and the Q there. Do you agree?
Yes.
And then they want the difference, or what must you do?
Subtract.
Good. Okay, well done.
Yeah.
All right, so just to show you that solution, there's the PD, there's the PS. I did exactly what you said. Substitute
Yeah.
20 in, solve, and then work out the difference. You get 6.
6. Yeah.
All right, perfect.
So
Good.
option 3.
Okay,
Okay.
question 8 is a standalone question. Again, let's practice your approach. Okay, so when you see this question, if you read the question, what are you thinking about? How are you going to approach this question?
Okay, so if the demand function of a commodity is that, where P and Q are the price and quantity. So it's point price elasticity of demand.
Yes. Good.
Okay.
Okay, and that requires a formula. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yes, I
Perfect.
think that's the one that you sent me from the, yeah, yes, P divided, yeah, from
Correct.
the
Okay,
study guide.
why
Yes.
are we using this one? Linear.
It's just simpler. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it's a linear. Yeah.
Okay, remember, with linear point price elasticity, you use that formula. When it's non-linear, then you have to do that other calculation. Okay, we saw
Okay.
some of that in the newer past papers.
Yes.
Okay, all right, so great, you've got it. Okay, once you've got that, you plug in the values. P is 15, P is 15. A, remember, is the constant, which is the
215.
215.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, once you've substituted in, you get minus 3 over 4, 40, which is that one, option 4.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Good approach. See, your approach is important. That's the main thing. The main thing is knowing what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a nice question. This one I want you to do because you're going to have to evaluate which option's correct. These questions are actually quite nice because there's not too much that you have to do. The only thing that you really have to focus on is, well, which is A, which is B, which is C, and which is D. And then you've got to choose the right option. Okay, so let me just move it down a bit so you can see all of it. Is that still visible? Can you still read that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, so if I leave that up, okay, would you be able to choose the correct option?
Well, I know you're probably going to have to check regarding the formula if it slopes up or down, or the curve of the
Yes.
slope.
So
If it's positive or negative.
happy or sad?
And I know it's determining it's the slope. If the slope is negative,
So yeah, what is the slope? The slope is what variable? Remember, for a
it's
parabola,
m.
you have y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Okay, which variable, a, b, or c, talks about the slope?
A.
Yes. Okay, so if a is positive, it's happy. If it's negative, it's sad.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yep.
Okay, so is a in the right format?
No.
No. How are you going to write a as y equals ax plus bx plus c?
So I'm going to put the x squared first.
Good on that side, right?
Yep.
Okay, so for a, you're going to have what?
So x minus x squared.
No.
Oh, I'm going to move it over to the other side. Y equals, okay, sorry, yeah. So then it's going to become positive, yeah. X squared plus 2.
Correct. Okay, so
Yep.
a is happy. Okay, where's a here? Okay, there's a, there's a, there's, okay, here's a, and there's a.
So that one can't be.
Which one's out?
Yep. So 4 is out.
Good. Okay, can you do the same now for b?
Yeah, okay, so B is y equals x squared.
Which one is that? Okay, so where's
So
b?
that's
Here's
also
b.
happy.
Here's b.
That one's out.
Here's b. Which one's out?
2.
Good. Okay, carry on. You've got one of two
Okay.
options to choose.
Yeah. So C is also y equals x squared minus 3.
Correct.
So also happy.
So you've got this one, and you've got this one.
So 3 is out.
Yes. Okay, so you don't even have to check D, but let's check it just in case. What would D be? Y equals?
Minus x squared.
Good. Happy or sad?
Yep.
Sad. Okay, option 1. Do you agree?
Yeah. So is this the only way to calculate this, or?
Yes. Look at the actual formula. So I would also look at the C. What is the C representing?
Okay.
The y-intercept.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so
yes,
for,
okay, that makes
for
sense.
C, for graph C, I've got minus 3. Okay, there's minus 3. Okay, for graph D, I've got 0. There's the 0. Do you see that?
Yep.
Okay, for B, I've got 0 as the intercept, so there's the 0. And then for A, I've got 2 as the intercept. There's the intercept. Do you see that?
Yep.
Okay, but yeah, you need to remember the formats for a parabola. Ax squared plus bx plus c, and then you're looking for the right shape and the right intercept, obviously. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, I think I did go with 1 as well. Let's just check. Yeah, question 9-1. Okay, question 10. Another one for you to try. Okay, we've looked at quite a few of these actually in previous past papers. So I'm hoping you remember how to approach it.
Yes, yeah. So you're basically going to start with the origin. So you're going to set x and y to 0.
Good. Okay, so let's test each of these graphs. Can you test graph number 1?
Okay, so if x is 0, then y is smaller and equal to 13.
No. Remember you said you're going to test the origin, right?
Yes.
What is the origin? 0, 0.
Yeah.
So x
Oh,
is 0
sorry, you're going to set both to 0. Okay.
Do you agree?
So 0 is smaller or equal to 13, so that's true.
Okay, that's true. Right,
Yep.
so where's graph number 1? Here's graph number 1. Okay, so which
how do you
side
actually
are we
know?
allowed?
Oh, there's actually a 1 on there. Okay. Sorry, which side are we allowed? So it has to be.
On the left, on the right. The origin was true or false?
So it has to be below 13. So it's going to have
Yes,
to be on the left.
correct. Okay, so we're
Yes.
looking at that. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so can I have 1? Yes. Can I have 3? Yes.
Yes.
Can I have 4? Yes. Can I
Yes.
have can I have 2?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Can you test 2?
Okay, so making both 0 again, 0 smaller or equal to 8, so that's also true.
Good. Okay, so where's graph 2? Here's graph 2.
Yeah.
That's graph 2. That's graph 2. And that's graph 2. Okay, so which side? Left or right?
I would say on the right.
No. Where's the origin?
Uh, oh yeah, 0, 0. Oh, okay, yes, but
There's the
okay,
origin, right?
yes,
Okay, so is 0 less than or equal to 8? It's true.
yeah,
Do you agree? So can I have the origin?
yeah,
Yes, I can. So it must be on this side. Do you agree?
yeah.
Okay, here it must be on this side. So which option's
My
out?
only question is, where do you actually see 8? Because on the first line you can see 13 is where y cuts the line, or doesn't that really
No, no,
matter?
no, no. Remember, this isn't a straight line. This isn't y equals mx plus c. This is an inequality.
Okay, I see. Okay, I
Okay,
see what
when
you
it's an
mean. Okay,
inequality, you have a range of values.
yeah.
Okay, so you have to test using a point, any point. I just use the origin because it's the easiest one to plug in.
Okay,
Okay, so if I plug in 0 and 0 here, I have 0 less than equal to 8. Can I have that point? Is that point valid?
okay,
It is valid. Do you agree?
yeah,
It's true. So it's true if the graph, so the graph is here. There's the graph. Okay, can I have the origin? Can I have the origin?
yes,
Yes, I can. Can I have the origin? Yes, I can. Can I
yes,
have the
yeah,
origin? Yes, I can.
no.
Okay,
Oh,
here they've highlighted the other side. So is this one right or
yes, yeah.
wrong? It's wrong.
So that's wrong, yeah,
Do
yes.
you agree?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Let me just put something over this. It's looking a bit messy. Let me see if I can just draw. Can I draw something on here? Oh no. Okay, that draws a block. Okay, it's fine. All right. Let me just change color now. Maybe. Okay. All right. Can you test number 3?
okay, so number 3, that's going to be minus 0. Um,
Plug in the zeros. What do you get?
So minus 2 times 0, is that
Is
minus 0 or is it still
It's
0?
still 0. Yeah. 0
Okay.
doesn't have a sign. 0 is a 0.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, 0 smaller or equal
No, no,
to
no. 0
12,
plus. What's 3 times 0?
0.
Yes, because remember you're putting in 0 and 0. You're putting in
Yeah,
x and you're putting in y.
yes.
Okay, so 0 plus 0 is 0. Is
Yeah,
0
0.
less than 12?
Yes.
Is that true? Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so because it's true, where is that graph? Here's the graph.
yeah,
Do you see it?
yeah,
Okay, where's the origin? There.
yeah,
Can I have the origin?
yes,
Yes, I can. So it's on this side. Do you agree?
yeah.
Okay, so which graph satisfies all of that?
3.
No. Oh, hold on. We're missing one more.
Yes, yeah, the greater than 0.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
So greater than 0 must be this side, and greater than 0 must be
yes,
that side. Do you agree?
yeah,
So
yep,
above there and on the right there. Correct. So 3 is correct. I agree.
yeah.
Okay, because of that last inequality. Okay, let's see which option I went with. Yeah, option 3 is correct. Good. I agree. All right, let's have a look at this one. Okay, intercepts, thoughts. How do you work out intercepts? Do you know?
The roots.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
how would you work out the roots here? What would you do?
Well, so I'll basically write it so it equals to 0.
Very
And
good.
then I would either factorize or use that other equation.
The quadratic one, right?
Yes, yeah,
Perfect.
yes.
Well done. Brilliant. Okay, exactly what you said. Okay, using either quadratic or factorize. Okay, here you can factorize. Right, so what I did is I took everything to the left, made it equal to 0. Okay, and then obviously I factorized. Okay, maybe I should have added a step here. Uh, 2x to the power 3 plus 3x to the power 2 plus 9x. Okay, maybe let me add another step. And then here I took out a, what was common? I took out an x. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I took out an x, but then let me just simplify this. Okay, I took out an x, and then I was left with 2x squared. Okay, plus 3x plus 9. Right, and then 2x squared plus 3x plus 9 can be factorized. Okay, you'll get 2x minus 3 and x plus 3. Okay, obviously you multiply out. Minus 3 times plus 3 is minus 9. Okay, minus 9. Ooh, hold on. Is my sign correct? Let me check here. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, this is 2x to the 3. It'll be plus 3x squared minus, I was wondering, minus 9x. Okay, otherwise it's not in line with my working. Right, minus 9, and then that's right, yeah. So minus 3 times plus 3 is minus 9. Okay, then you've got, I need a plus 3 in the middle, so I need a plus 9. So it should have been, hold on, let me do this quickly here, otherwise it's getting confusing. Okay, so what's common here? An x. Okay, to factorize 2x, x. Okay, 9 will be 3 and 3. Okay, so looking at this, I need a plus 3 in the middle, hey? So if I need a plus 3 in the middle, I'm going to need, this is 2x to the 3 plus 3x squared minus 9x. Yeah, that's correct. And then you've taken out an x, and then you've got that. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so if I factorize this, a 9 would be a plus and a minus. But if I have a plus and a minus there, it's not going to work out. Because I'll have 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9. But now I need a plus 9. That's the problem. So 3 times 3 it'll be the other way around. It'll be this way. So I should actually have x bracket 2x 2x. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6, right? And then we'll have a 9. I'm just thinking, looks like you can't factorize this. You actually need to use the formula. Because here my working was naught you can use the quadratic formula instead of factorizing. That's what I said here. And then I got 3 over 2, or x equals 3. That's what I got. But I'm just looking at my working. If I multiply this out, let me just check the multiplying out. Minus 3 times plus 3 is minus 9. That's correct. 2x times 3 is 6x. 6x
Yep.
minus 3x is 3. Oh, it does work. It does work. Okay,
So
you
yeah,
do get
2x
plus
minus
3 in the
3
middle.
and
Do you
x
see
plus
that?
3. Yeah.
Yeah, it does work. All right, I thought it wasn't working because you had a plus instead of a minus, but I see it does work. Let's double check. 2x times 3 is 6x. That's the plus, eh?
6x, yeah.
Yes. And then minus 3x gives you 3x. Yeah, it does work. Okay, you don't have to use quadratic. It does work. Okay, so it is a plus here, and it is a minus there, because this times that gives you 6x. Okay, this times that gives you minus 3x. Okay, 6x minus 3x is 3x, and that's correct. Okay, yeah, the factorizing does work. Right, it's always good to check. I just want to make sure that all of these are correct. Okay, happy with that?
Yep.
Okay, great. Right, coordinates of the turning point. How do you find the turning point? Do you remember?
So turning point will differentiation.
Yes, you can use
So
differentiation. So you can
it's
say
either the
dy
maximum or
over
the
dx
minimum.
equals,
Yeah.
what must it equal
So
to?
that would be 8x probably minus 1.
Correct. Okay, and then what must you
Yeah.
make the derivative equal?
Sorry, just repeat that again.
What do you make the derivative equal?
Probably to. So it's a turning point.
So derivative equals 0.
Yeah, 0. Yeah, yes. I thought so. Yeah, it just.
Okay, so 1 equals 8x, x equals 1 over 8. You agree?
Yep.
Okay, you can also do it this way. X equals minus b over 2a. Minus b would be minus 1 over 2a will be 2 times 4. Do you see you get the same answer?
Yep.
Okay, I think you've asked me this question before. Okay, you can actually use this to work out the turning point as well. Or you can use a derivative equals 0. Either or works. Are you happy with that?
Yep.
Okay, so the answer was, okay, I did use derivative equals 0, same as you. Okay, I got 1 over 8, same as you. Then I solved for y, and I got option 1. Okay, happy with 12?
Yep.
Great. Okay, 13. Tell me what you're going to do. What's your approach?
A company supplied. Okay, so they want maximum profit. So
Correct.
that's derivative again.
Yes, but what must you do first? Yep. Walk me through your steps.
Okay.
So in other words, tell me what
so they
you
want
would do,
price
and
and quantity. Sorry?
I said, tell me what you would do, and I will just show the workings. The steps.
Okay. So first of all, you're going to have to calculate the price, and price is probably fixed cost plus the variable cost.
No. Price is given.
Oh, price already given, yeah.
What is TC?
Total cost.
Okay, so they've given you price, they've given you total cost, and they've given you quantity.
Oh, you need quantity.
Okay, they've given you that. What are they asking you to calculate?
Quantity.
No. Well, they're asking you to work out price and quantity, but where profit is a maximum.
Okay.
Okay, so how do I get profits?
So you're gonna use the derivative of the. Okay, sorry. Profit is price times. Price times quantity.
No, that's revenue. Revenue is price times quantity.
Oh, sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah, total revenue minus total cost
That's better.
is
Good.
profit.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
so just to remember this, total revenue equals price times quantity. Profit is total revenue minus total cost. Do you agree?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so do I need to get this formula first?
Yes.
Okay, there's my P. You're going to times it by Q. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Once you've got that, then you need to subtract this formula. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so total revenue needs to be calculated first, and then you get your total costs, and then you minus the two. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, once you get a formula for that, what are you going to do with that equation?
You're gonna get a derivative.
Very good. Okay, because
Yeah.
now the question's talking about a maximum. Right, so whatever that function is, okay, derivative of profit, okay, will equal 0 to work out the middle of the max. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, once you've got derivative equals 0, you can solve for P and Q. Okay, do you see the steps?
Yeah.
Is it making sense now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the important bit. Okay, the important bit is to take this information and to get the right approach. Okay, so the correct approach is as we've highlighted it here. Step number 1, get the total revenue. Once we've got the revenue, then we can work out the profit. Once we've got the profit, then we can work out the derivative equals 0 to get the P and the Q for profit when it's a max. Happy?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you've described it. We've looked at it. Here's the workings now. Okay. Step number 1 is to get total revenue. That's what I've shown you in brackets. Price times quantity. Okay. This times Q. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. To get the profit, I then need to minus the total cost. That's how I got that. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. There's the answer for profit. Okay, once you've got that, then you need to find the derivative. Okay, so negative 0.8q squared, the 2 gets multiplied in. Okay, so you get minus 1.6q. Okay, obviously the q falls away and you've got 5384. Okay, then you've
Yeah.
got that, and then you solve for q. Q comes out to 3365. Okay, what do you do with the q? Plug it back into the equation for
Yeah.
p. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, if I know what Q is, then I can work out P. Right, when I plug this into that formula, I get P as 2812. Right, so this was answer 3.
Option 3.
Okay,
Okay.
does that make sense? Is the approach okay? Are you
Yeah.
happy with the steps?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, this I think you can probably do, but the hard part is being able to interpret the information to get the right approach. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
That's what I want to try focus on today, so at least then you're a bit more comfortable. Because if it's next week Thursday is the exam. Next week Thursday you'll need to know what to do when. That's the hardest part.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why I want to try do that here with you, and then you can just check your answers. Right. Okay, ideally, this paper I would do closed book. Well, you can have your formulas with you, but remember, try to do as much of it as you can without looking at anything, and then come back and then just check it and see how much did you get. Okay, that's the prep I would
Okay.
do for next week Thursday.
Okay.
Okay, is that all right?
Yeah.
Happy with this one?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, 14. Tell me what you're thinking about. What's the approach?
Okay. The demand function, where P and Q represent the price and quantity respectively, determine the consumer surplus. So yeah, that's the one where you always basically draw the diagram.
Correct. Okay, what's the
Yeah.
diagram going to look like? This is demand, up or down?
Down.
Good. Okay, remember, you need to take points from the question and you need to plot it on the graph. Okay, so give me points. What is this point? What is this point? What is that point? Do you know? Which points do you know?
Well, we know the price is 10.
Yes, so P is on this side, Q is on that side. Do you agree?
Yes.
So where are you going to put the 10?
So is P always on the left-hand side or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, price is always on
Okay,
the
so,
side, quantity is the bottom.
okay. So, the price is 10. That's probably the one in the middle.
Yes, the one at the bottom, hey?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and then what's this point going to be?
Um, 58.
Yes, good. Okay, y, this is the y-intercept. Do you agree?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and then how do you get this point? This point,
Um,
you already know what the P is. Do you agree?
yeah,
You don't know what the Q is. Do you agree?
yeah.
How do you get Q?
You're gonna plug it into that formula.
Good. Okay,
Yeah.
once you've got that, okay, let me give you the answer, and then you can tell me what to do next. What is the Q there? The Q is... ooh, I'm going to reveal too much. The Q is 120. Okay, once you've got that, now what do? How do you work out the surplus?
So you're gonna use that formula to calculate the area of a triangle.
Great.
Triangle.
What is the formula?
Yes. I think it's half B. Yeah, I can't remember it. Yeah, but that's all I can remember. Half B.
Half base times height.
Okay.
Okay, so let me help you remember this. Okay, if you had a triangle, or not a triangle, a rectangle or a square, okay, how do you work out the area? Base times height, do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, if you divide that in two, now you've got a triangle.
Okay.
Okay, so when
Now
you
that you
have
said like that, I mean, it's so simple.
yeah, when you have a square, base times height gives you area, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you want a triangle, it's half of it.
Okay.
Okay, so there you
You
go.
see,
Now you'll never forget that.
yeah. My problem with a lot of this math is obviously I'm Afrikaans, and up
Oh,
until
yes, yes, yes.
matric, everything was basically drilled into you in Afrikaans.
Yes, I
Lengte,
understand.
mal, breedte, in the same with total cost and total revenue. Obviously,
Yes.
I remember the Afrikaans, and
I
then
I I think UNISA used to give two versions of the paper. Do they still give an Afrikaans version?
I don't think so. And
Don't they?
especially with the online, I think it's only going to be in English.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem because I
Yeah,
actually I think I even have some Afrikaans versions of this but older papers, not this one.
yeah.
I think there's normally an A. Let me just see here. Yeah. Okay. Here's an Afrikaans version. Yeah. 2015. Here.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think they do it anymore.
Don't they do it anymore?
But yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, because I'm sure this would help you a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Because yeah, obviously,
Can you
all
not
of the
request it?
basics that I did was in Afrikaans. So now I first usually think in Afrikaans and then
Yes.
convert it to English. But I'm
Okay.
getting used to it. I mean, the more I
Okay, nice.
practice,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember they actually used to give papers like this. They used to give both. Even you could download the English and the Afrikaans, eh?
Okay,
Yeah. So I don't
sure.
know if they still do it now. Do they just upload English, eh?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, a slight problem, but hopefully it's okay. And you're getting better at approaching it. Is it right, eh?
Yeah, no, I think I should be fine. I mean, I
Okay.
just need to practice.
Ooh, I think I lost.
Yeah.
No, this is the right one. Yeah, this is the right one. But I've just. Where are we? Here. Yes. Okay, yeah. Half base times height is perfect. Okay, you've answered it correctly. Just to show you the answer. Area, half base times height, 2880, option 3. Perfect. Okay, let's have a look at another one. You tell me the approach. Okay, here's a nice one.
Okay, yeah, it's linear. Okay, so you're gonna use all three to basically to calculate.
Yeah, this is a what do they call this? This is a solve for x. This is when you have three variables. Okay, where you have
Yeah,
three separate linear equations solve for x.
yeah.
Okay. Do you want to try this one because they always give you one like this? We've seen a lot. Every paper we've seen one. Do you want to try this
Okay.
one?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you want to do it? Do you want to do it together? Do you want to do it separate and then you want to just check?
Yeah, we can do it together, or I can just I can maybe just tell you what to do. Or
Okay. All right. Tell me what to do.
okay, so first of all, you're probably gonna write all three of them next to each other, like
Okay.
you
Yeah.
always do.
All right. So we've got all three of them there. Now what?
Yeah. And then you're going to put them in the format that you require so that you can plug them into the other equations.
Yeah. So you wanna find something that you can substitute to get rid of
Yeah,
a variable.
yes.
So what
Yeah.
would you wanna substitute? Which of those equations are you gonna start with?
Probably with the first one.
The first one.
Or, okay, with the last one.
With the
Obviously, yeah,
last
if you
one.
want to substitute in, you're going to start with the last one.
Okay. So what do you want to do with the
Yes.
last one?
Okay, so let's first get R. So
You
we're
want to
going
get
to
R.
move R to the left-hand side.
R to the left hand side. It is on the left.
Okay, so, yeah, okay, so keep it on the left-hand side.
Okay.
Or you're going to probably, if you can, probably try and get it positive, or
Okay.
does that not
So
matter?
okay. So what do you want to do? Tell me what you want to do.
Okay, so move it to the right-hand side so that it's 2R. Okay, and then I'm going to move the 2 also to the left-hand side, so 2Q minus 2.
Okay. Perfect. And then.
Okay, and then I'll probably divide everything by 2. Okay, so then you're going to end up with Q, minus 1. So, so then you've got R, so then you can basically plug that into the second one.
Second
Yeah,
one. Only the second one.
yes. You're going to, in the first one as well, yeah. Both of them, yes.
Yes. That's good.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So you're saying put it into that one and that one. So okay. So
yes.
number one.
Okay, so, okay, number 2.
Okay. And then.
So now I'll probably first do the second one. So then I'll try and get Q on the left-hand side.
Okay. So multiply all out, eh? Okay. Tell me what to
Okay.
do. It's P plus.
Okay, so are we gonna? Okay, first try maybe get Q on the left-hand side and move. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, let's just multiply first. Okay, so P. So plus that will become 2Q plus Q, so that will become 3Q. Okay, and plus 2 minus 1, so that will become minus 2 equals 0.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, so and then, yeah. So then,
And then
okay,
at the
so
top.
then, yeah. Okay, so minus P, yeah. So plus 2Q, that's, yeah, plus 3Q, minus 2 equals 8.
Okay. Good. Okay. So
Yeah.
now you can. Now what are you gonna do?
Okay, so then the bottom one, I'll try and get the Q on the left-hand side.
Q on the
Okay,
left
so
hand side. So you're
3Q.
gonna leave the Q on this side.
Yes, yeah. 3Q equals, so 2 minus P.
Good. And then.
Okay, divide both sides with 3. Q equals minus, 2 minus P over 3.
Okay. Now
Okay,
what?
so then, yeah. So now we've got a Q that, yeah, we can substitute into that one.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're gonna have here? We're gonna have minus P plus 3 open brackets 2
Yeah.
minus P over 3 minus 2 equals 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what? How do we multiply this out? What do we
Okay,
get
so
here?
first of all, the two threes cancels out, so that 3 will become a 1. Okay,
Good.
yeah, so then it's okay, then you can, yeah, so it's minus p plus plus 2 minus p, so that will become minus 2p.
Good. Okay, so minus 2p plus
Yeah,
2 minus
plus
2
2
is?
0 equals 8.
Okay, so what is p?
Okay, so p is going to be minus 4.
Perfect. Let's check if that's
Yeah.
right. Let's see. Okay, I think I might have done it similar. Yeah, p is minus 4. Perfect. Okay, then obviously you'd work
Okay.
out q and work out r. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
Good job. Okay, you had the right p. If you've got the right p, that's the hard part. The hard part is trying to get one of the variables. So I actually done it a bit differently, but you can see you still get the same answer. I
Okay.
worked out r first, then I worked out q, then I got p. So p was the last one I got, but you can see it doesn't matter how you do it. This was a different method, but you still got the same answer. P minus 4, that's the answer. That's
Okay.
what you want. Okay, happy with this one?
Yep.
Nice. Okay, 16. Tell me what to do. What's the approach going to be?
Okay, so find the values for x for. Okay, so they want turning point. So state whether minimum or maximum. So that's the derivative.
Yes. Derivative
Yep.
equals?
Um, sorry. Just repeat. How do you mean?
Derivative equals what? How do you get the min or the max?
Yeah, by calculating the derivative.
And it must equal?
0.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
important.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the derivative equals 0 is how you get the min or the max. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so what is the derivative? Do that step. Derivative of this?
Yep. Okay, so that will be 2x squared.
And then?
Plus 6x.
Good. Perfect. Okay, there we go. And then you solve for x.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, 17 and 18 are based on the following information.
Okay, the daily rate of sales of a product is approximately the exponential function. With t, the number of days it has been on the market. Okay, so this is E. After 20 days, so you're probably going to put 20 into t. I
Perfect.
think, if I remember correctly, you can do this on your calculator.
100%. So grab the
Yeah.
calculator. Let's see if you can do it. Can you type all of that in with 20 as your exponent for t? And let's see
Yeah.
if you get the right answer. You should be getting one of the options.
Okay.
Okay, try that. Let's see how good your calculator skills are. Okay, you need to use a scientific though, because you need to obviously put in exponents and so on.
Okay.
Okay. Try it.
0.3 times, that is 20. That one plus 1.5 equals. So I got 1816.663495. So yeah, it's option 4.
Perfect. Good job.
Okay.
Okay, 18, remember, uses the same formula. Here they said, after how many days, rounded to the whole number, will the rate of sale be 2,000 per day? So do you agree this is representing the sales? Do you agree?
Yep.
They're asking you how many days, so they want what variable?
T.
Yes. Okay, so you're
Yeah.
basically going to put in the 200 equals this thing, and then you're going to be solving for t. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so maybe just to show that, there's it. Okay, 2000 equals that formula. Okay, notice there's a bracket here because it's an exponent. All right,
Yeah.
when you're looking at a long formula like this, you need the exponent on its own. Right, so I took the 1/8 to the left, okay, I subtracted it. The next step, I divided, okay, the 200 by the 1500. Okay, and then I'm left with that. Then I remember that 2 equals, 2 to 3 equals 8, and then log 2, 8 equals 3. Okay, then I'm using that to get a t. Okay. Did you
Okay.
manage that? Is that all right?
Yeah. Quick question.
Yes.
Could I not have just used all of the answers in question 17 and plug them into T and see where do I get 2000?
Clever. Okay, that's a good observation. All right, so if you do that, can you do that quickly? But so you've typed it in already, but obviously put a bracket there for the t, and then change
Yeah.
the t every time. Change it to a 4, change it to the 5, change it to the 11, change it to the 12. Do you
Okay, I didn't
get?
even know I can do that.
Do you get this one? You can
Okay.
do it that
So
way.
12. Let me um,
So you have to plug in each one. That's
delete
correct. And then the
1,
answer will be
2.
close to 2000, rounded off, obviously. That's a very clever observation. That's good.
Yeah.
Because
So
it's
it's
multiple choice, you can do it that way.
1983.68. Sorry?
Because it's multiple choice, you can do it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, did you get it? What did you get? 1? Okay, perfect.
1983.684642.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good observation. Then obviously 4 would be correct then.
Okay.
Okay, nice. All right, 19. Okay, we've looked at quite a few of these. Okay, let's see if you can do this one. Which answer are you going to go with? 1, 2, 3, or 4? You do this one.
Okay, you are baking for. Okay, yeah, that's the other one where you have to do the constraints.
Yes.
Um, okay, so we've got a recipe over there with flour, eggs, and sugar. So each unit of cake. So you've got cake 1 and cake 2 at the top, probably.
Correct. You've got 2 different cakes.
Yeah. And then on the left-hand side, you'll have flour, eggs, and sugar.
Yes, so you've got flour, eggs, and sugar. That's the components of the cake, correct?
Yeah.
Good.
And then
Okay.
you're going to see which ones, or you're probably going to have to total, and then you have to see which ones falls within the constraints.
Yes, so if you're looking at, what do you want to look at first? The flour, the eggs, or the sugar?
We can start with the flour.
Okay, so give me the equation for the flour.
Um, so I'm not sure. Oh, 18, 18. Yeah, it's 18. So it's the first one. Less than or equal than 18.
Less than or equal to 18. So cake 1 uses 1.8 kilograms. Okay, cake 2 uses 0.75, and that must be less than 18. Okay, yeah, so it can be option 1, it can be option 4. It can be 1
Yeah.
or it can be 4.
Okay.
Okay. Now look at the eggs.
Okay, so the eggs. Okay, so it's 3 eggs and 2 eggs.
Yes.
So 3 eggs plus 2, so it can
Good.
be
It could
1
be
and
1 or it could
3.
be 4 again, yeah.
Yeah, 1 and 4, sorry.
Yeah, and then the last one, you'll get the right answer. Look at the
Okay,
sugar.
so the last one, yeah, 10 and 0.4. Sorry? No, yeah, sugar, 10 kilogram. Oh, sorry. It's 0.4 and 0.6.
Yes. So which one's
Yeah,
right?
1.
Yes. Should be correct. Good. Well
Okay,
done. Okay, yeah. So cake 1 and cake 2. Obviously, you have to look at flour, eggs, and then sugar.
okay.
Okay, and obviously you have to have cake, so obviously greater than 1, not negative.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, here's another one. This is a nice one. Tell me the approach. What is the approach going to be?
Okay, total revenue, where X is the number of units sold. What is the marginal revenue when 5 units are sold? So marginal revenue is probably derivative again.
Very good. Okay, derivative
Yeah.
equals what?
Okay, inverse. Okay, it's when 5 units are sold.
Correct. Yeah, so
Yeah,
here you've got to plug in 5 into what? Into this formula or into the derivative? Which one?
into the derivative.
Yes. Okay, so they want to know
Yeah.
the marginal revenue. So total
So
revenue, okay, the derivative will give marginal revenue. Does that
marginal.
make
Okay.
sense?
Yep.
Okay, well done. All right, so you get the derivative first. Once you've got the derivative, you plug in the 5, you get option 3. Okay, well done. Good approach.
Okay.
Your approach is correct. You would have gotten it correct if you had gone through the process. Happy with that one?
Yep.
Good. Okay, question 21. Again, you tell me what to do. What's the approach going to be?
Okay. Lighthouse, warehouse produces Q solar lamps. Each costs 150 to produce and is sold for 350. Okay, so they want total revenue, total cost, and total profit.
Good. So how do we work out total revenue?
Okay, so total revenue is quantity times price.
Good. Okay, so where's the
Okay,
quantity? There's the quantity, Q.
produces. Yeah, that's
Where's the
Q.
price?
150.
No. Costs. Sold. Which one's the price? The lamp
Isn't it?
costs 150 and it's sold for 350.
Oh yeah, sold. Yes, yeah, yeah,
So
obviously,
it's
yeah,
the selling
yes.
price
That's
because
yeah, revenue,
revenue is from
Vince, yeah,
sales.
yeah, yes,
Do you agree?
yeah,
Okay,
yes,
so which option?
definitely, yeah, 350. Yeah.
350,
Okay, and then
350.
yeah,
Okay, give me the
then
total
total
cost.
cost. Total cost is fixed cost plus variable
Good.
cost.
Fixed plus variable. So there's fixed plus variable, right?
Yeah.
Here they're subtracting. That's already wrong.
Okay.
Okay, and then obviously profit would be what?
Total revenue minus total cost.
Yes, okay. In this option, you would probably want to check that just to make sure. Okay, so you would take
Okay.
this and you would subtract that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, and the answer is 1. Good. Okay, we're almost there. You're doing well, hey? A lot of this you're getting
Okay.
right. The approach is good. Okay, that's the main part. The main part is can you identify what to do? That's the key. All right, so again, approach, what would you do here?
Okay, so they want producer surplus. So that's again going to be the derivative.
No. Producer surplus? No, not a derivative.
Oh, sorry, yeah, producer surplus. That's the diagram that you draw with same as
Yes,
consumer surplus.
correct. Okay, which
Yes.
direction? Up or down?
It's up. It's supply.
Good. Okay, so give me points.
Okay, so we've got price is 200. So
Where would you put
price,
that?
yeah, price is 200.
Where would you put it?
So price is at the bottom. Sorry, price is left, so left hand side, and quantity is the bottom.
Okay, so
Okay,
what do you
so
put
that
the
would be,
200?
it's probably the bottom one.
This one. This one.
Oh no, sorry, it's a surplus. It's going to be the top one.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, why? What is this one?
Okay, that one we probably have to calculate. That's, oh, sorry, it's 80. It's the intercept line. Yes, it's
Yes, there
80.
we go. Good. So
Yeah,
you've got the height. You can work out the height. Do you agree?
yeah, yes.
Okay, how do I get the Q?
So Q, oh, you're going to substitute, you're going to substitute 80 into that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're going to substitute, Q, P into that.
Yeah, you're going to substitute P into this, right?
Yep.
Okay,
So,
200 will go there, right?
okay.
Okay, so 200 equals 80 plus 5q, and then you're solving for q. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you work out the area of this triangle?
It's at half B times H.
Perfect, good. Okay, nice. All right, so for 22, we would have done exactly what you said. Solve for the q, you get 24. Okay, half base times height. Obviously, the height would be the difference between 280. Okay, the base is the 24, which is your q, and that gives you 144. Okay, good. Approach is correct. All right, this one, derivatives. Okay, when you have this you need to obviously look at what rule?
Okay. Find the derivative of the function.
You have to use those rules, hey?
Um, yeah, I know it's with E.
No. When you see this, you've got x5 times e to the 3x. So that's product rule.
Okay.
And then when you've got denominators, numerator, denominator, that's quotient rule.
Yes.
Remember that. Okay, so for this one, for E, okay, I've just got the answers. I've just got one. One is the answer here. You have to use product rule for the first and then quotient rule. I think maybe just to add some extra workings here. If I go to your textbook, let's see, product rule and quotient rule. It should be given here, there. Product rule, quotient rule, page 65. Okay, there's the quotient rule. Here's the product rule. Okay, so you need both. Okay, so product rule and quotient rule. Obviously, this is the product rule. You'll apply that, and you'll apply that to the first one, and then you'll apply this to the second one. Where is it? Here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so just be careful with these ones because they've given you two, look at it. Okay, two terms. Okay, this term is separate from that term. This term has one thing multiplied by another. This term has one thing divided by the other. Right, so you have to apply the respective rules. Okay, so you need both quotient and product to get the right answer. Okay, is that all right?
Yep.
Okay, try it and see how you do. If you don't get it, then let me know, and then next week we can go through the workings. I think this I might have done on a what's it PowerPoint. I just didn't copy paste the workings here. Okay, but the answer is 1. If you apply the rules for derivatives, obviously you have to apply the logs and the lins and the e's. Okay, but that only applies to this one. Okay, that one. Okay, this one you'll apply quotient. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so try it and see if you can get it. Let's have a look at this one. Find the derivative. What do you do here? What rule is applied
That will
here?
probably be the substitute.
Yes. Okay, the substitute rule is called the chain rule.
Okay.
Okay, this you need to let equal C. Okay, make that equal C, and then you solve. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, there we go. I've even written it down. Okay, let that equal X or C, either or, and then you solve. Okay, so I got option 2 here. Okay, maybe again, just to show this, this should have been over here. Where's chain rule? Quotient, product, it should be here as well. Or maybe it's separate. Oh, here's chain rule. There we go. Chain rule. Chain rule, let something equal x and then go through the steps. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so NB chain rule. Right, just as a tip, next week when you're doing this online, okay, hopefully you can jump around and you can do the questions that are easier, because these questions, this paper gave the questions right at the end. So that's good. Okay, but if these questions were given at the beginning, I wouldn't start with them. I would end with them, because I obviously need to do the easy questions first. These questions are difficult. This takes a long time. This takes a long time. If you know your rules, then you can get it, but it takes time. Okay, so rather do these at the end so you have enough time to finish. Because if you've only got an hour to do your exam next week, you need to make sure you've done enough of the questions. Right? Even if you don't finish these ones, at least you can still guess to try choose an option that's correct. Okay, but you need to be able to do so. For example, question 22 up. All those questions you can do. All those questions you can get right. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, please just remember that for next week, because because remember you said they were going to mix and match the past papers and change the multiple choice. So I don't know which questions you're going to get initially and which ones you're going to get later on. These ones you would rather leave for later on. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, question 24, chain rule. Question 25, integration. Okay, when you have this, you have to change the notation though. You have to make it to the minus a half. Not minus a half.
Okay.
A half. Okay, it's not a denominator. Okay, so when you have a root, okay, so root 4 would be 2, not 2, 4. 4 to the half. Okay, does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so when you have integration, you're going backwards. You're going from the derivative back to the function. Remember that?
Yep.
Okay, so when you do that, I think I've shown the workings here, have I? This is 25, yes. Okay, so with 25, I also used the chain, well, not the chain rule, the opposite of chain rule, where you're basically taking it back. Okay, so I made this in here, okay, equal to u, all right, and then obviously I applied the integration, okay, the inverse of the derivative, right, to get back to the main. So the answer that you end up with is number 4, option 4.
Okay.
Okay, because then I would have had u to the half. Okay, and obviously u to the half would have been u to the half plus 1, which is u to the 3 over 2. Okay, over 3 over 2. Remember integration? Okay, you're adding 1 to the exponent. Remember that.
Okay.
Okay. Right, so for example, if I had x squared, the derivative would have been 2x. Okay, the integration of 2x, okay, would be x1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1. Okay.
Yep.
So it'll be x over 2. Okay, and then 2x. So cancel x squared. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right, focus here.
Okay, so 26. Calculate the consumer surplus for the demand function. So that's again, the same as the previous one with the diagram.
No, it's different. Why?
Oh, it's non-linear.
Correct. Okay, so when you have non-linear, you have to use that thing we used last time, the derivative, not derivative, the integration. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, consumer surplus, page 28. It might be advanced
Oh,
though.
but that's the linear one.
Yeah, so where's the other one? Do you remember? Here, this one, 109.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, we're obviously looking at consumer surplus. There we go. Right, the formula, we've done a few of these actually. There's the formula. Okay, there's it there. Remember it.
Yep.
Good. Okay, so this is basically what I did here. Okay, paste. Right, area under the curve. Okay, so I had to find P. Okay. Let's see, did I do that here? I have P and I have that. Find another P. Let me just see, what did I do here? Yeah, I used the rules. This looks like derivative. Here, yeah, there's it there. Area under the graph, there's it. Okay, copy paste. Alright, there's the area under the graph. Okay, so I worked out area under the graph for that function. I got Q and I got Q as 4.4. I see here you had to insert and then I got those values and then the difference was 11.3. This was close, I think. Let me just check. What was the answer here? Oh, it wasn't close. It was actually off. Okay, let's try it. Let's just see the working here. Area under the graph, yes. Okay, the area under the graph, and I'm looking for what? I'm looking for 25 over Q plus 2. Okay, so I'm looking at the integration for that. Let's see. What did I have here? This was for... Okay, let me redo this one. Let me just do it again. Okay, so P. I'm looking for P. Obviously, I need area under the graph. This I'm going to bring to the top. Okay, so if I'm going to integrate this, it's going to be multiplied out. So it'll be 1. It'll be 25 Q plus 2 to the 3 over 2 over 3 over 2. Okay, so then that gives me 50 over 3. This will be... Oh, it's a minus. It'll be a plus then. This should have been minus Q. So if it's a minus, this is going to be a plus. If I add 1, ooh, this I need to fix. Okay, so I'll have a 1 there, I'll have a 1 there, and I'll have a 1 over 2 there. Well, we can update it. Okay, so Q plus 2 to the minus 1 over minus 1 over 2. Okay, if I add 1, I get positive half. Okay, divided by 1 over 2. So if I divide by half, I'm going to times, so I'm going to have 50. So 50 square root Q plus 2. Okay, and then I need to substitute the P and the Q. Okay, so P I solved for. Let me check here. This is 26. Yeah, P was 5. Okay, and if I put in 5, where's my substitution? Here. P was 5. When I substituted into Q, I got... What did I get here? This was the... Okay, let me delete that. Let me just put that there, and then let me solve for Q. Okay, I think this I might have made a mistake there with the P and the Q. Okay, so Q here is going to be P is 5, 25 over Q plus 2. This will be 5Q plus 10 equals 25. 5Q equals 15. Q equals 3. Okay. Is that right? Yeah, that looks right.
Yep.
Okay, so Q equals 3. Okay, so now I've got Q equals 3. I can plug it into that formula. So I've got the integration. Obviously, the integration would be from, let me just double check. It's from 0 to Q1. So that'll be in, it'll be P to Q basically. Yeah, so 0 to Q. So 0 to 3. All right, so 0 to 3. Okay, so 0 to 3. For the function 50 square roots Q plus 2 close brackets, and then you've got minus P times Q, which was 5 times 3. Okay, so let's plug that in. So I'm gonna have 50 times square root 0 plus 2 is 2. No, the other one first. It'll be 3. 3 plus 2 is 5, so square root 5. Okay, and then that will be subtracted. Subtract brackets, then 50 times square root. Brackets 0 plus 2 is 2. Okay, and then minus 15. Okay, let's see what answer we get there. Okay, equals, what is square root 5? Okay, and then what is square root 2? Okay, there. All right, so let's plug that in. I'm going to have 2.23607 minus 1.41421, okay, minus 15. It is minus 15, yeah, it's minus 15. Okay, equals. Minus 14.17. Okay, it's a bit off. It's a negative though. There might have been a problem with my sign here. Let's just see. I did substitute in 5. Yeah, I did substitute 5 in. Okay, P is 5. 5 equals 25 over Q plus 2. It is a plus, yeah. So then that would have been 5Q plus 10. Okay, equals 25. That's a minus. Yeah, this looks right to me. So it is minus 15. Okay, what answer did I go with? I went with none of the above, yeah. Okay, question 26, none of the above, 5. Area under the graph, yes. Okay, initially I got this, but that was based on something else. I see I used ln instead of because let me just see now, where's that textbook here? Okay, what is the function? The function is when I have 1 over x. Oh, okay, so I see what I did. I went with 1 over q here. That was my initial working. And then I said this was 1 over u. And then obviously 1 over u, if that's the derivative, to get back to the function, then you'll have ln u. Okay, that's what I initially did. So when I did it that way, that method got me to 11.03. That wasn't right. Okay, then not to show what the number is, what the number for 2 is. Okay, because you couldn't solve for the 1. Okay, but doing it again, I do think this is
Yeah.
better because you're looking at the area under the curve. And if I'm looking at the area under the curve, I am looking at integration. And let me just double check the integration. When you're looking for integration, when you have that denominator, let's just double check it. Where's my integration here? There, area under the graph with a definite integral, and you've got a denominator. Let me just find one that has here. That was ln. Let's see, ln q plus 2. Yeah, okay, so if I'm looking at this, okay, let me double check this bit. Okay, you had, in the question, you had 25 over q plus 2. Okay, so then I made it minus a half. I see here, if you're looking at the integration, you can use the ln. Okay, if we use the ln, let's see what we get. I'm going to get 25 ln q plus 2. That's what I'm going to get. Okay, so then I'll have 25 ln q plus 2. Okay, so then if I'm working out, what is it? It was 0 to 3, hey? Okay, 0 to 3. So then I'm going to have, let me write this down. Okay, so this part I'm going to correct. Let me just copy that. Paste it down there. Okay, so 0 to 3, I'm going to have 25 ln bracket q plus 2, close brackets, minus 25 ln bracket q plus 2, close brackets. Okay, all right, so that's what I need to work out. So delete that part. Okay, let's work this out on the calculator. Okay, let's work out 25. Actually, I might even be able to do it here, actually. Ln 5 is that. Okay, then 25 times that. Okay, gives me that figure. Okay, and then I'm going to subtract. This will be ln 2. Okay, 17.3, and then I'm going to subtract 15. Let's see if we get an answer that's closer. Let's check. Or if we still get none of the above. Okay, this minus that. Okay, minus 15. Oh, okay, brilliant. I actually get option 2. Okay, I see. All right, so problem with answer initially is I was using the u substitution. That's incorrect. Okay, if I use the ln instead of the u substitution method, then I'm going to get 7.9. So that changes to option 2. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. All right, so just NB. Okay, when having a derivative bracket with a denominator rather use the 1 over u is ln u. Okay, for the integration. Okay, yeah, it does help to go through these things again. So I'm just noting a few things. All right, so that one I've corrected. I'll send you the updated file. Let me save that. Okay, and then let's just check the last few just in terms of approach. I know you probably have to go because of your daughter?
Yep.
Okay, so
Almost have
marginal
to go.
cost, maybe just to walk you through it. Okay, marginal
Okay.
cost means the derivative. I want the total cost.
Yep.
How do I get the total cost from the marginal cost? Integration. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so you need to go back. Okay, when you go back, you will get fixed cost of 1. Okay, that was what they gave you. Fixed cost of 500. Okay, you'll get option 1 if you do the integration. Okay, that's simple integration. That's a nice one. Okay, add 1 to the 2. Okay, add 1 there to make it squared. Right, 28 was looking at a definite integral. Okay, when it's a definite integral, obviously you need to apply the integration first. Okay, so you'll have minus 2x plus 1 over 1 plus 1. You'll have the plus 3x. Okay, and then you're looking at the definite integral. Okay, so this is obviously x squared minus x squared plus 3x. Okay, then you're plugging in minus 1 to 2. Okay, the 2 minus the 1. Do you agree?
Yep.
Okay, so then you'll have an answer that looks like this. I think that one I might have shown. Yeah, I did. Okay, there we go. Okay, then you substitute the 2 and that, and then you substitute, you get 6. Okay, I wrote the answer 6. It's option 4. Okay, 6, which is option 4. Okay, there is an option 6, obviously. Okay, question 29. Find the equilibrium price. Okay, what do you do when you have this? P equals S. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yep.
Equilibrium. Okay, if you make P equals S and you solve for P and Q, you're going to get option 4. That's a nice one. That one you can also probably do quite easily. And then the last one, oh, this is a graph one. Okay, feasible region. All right, so here they've given you those equations and they've given you a feasible area. Okay, that point there, and that point there. They said the profit function is given as that. They want you to determine the maximum profit subject to the inequalities above. So you've got to work out the coordinates of this point, which is obviously 0 and 10. You have to work out the coordinates of this point, which is 6 and 4. And the coordinates of that point, which is 4 and 5. Do you see that?
Yep.
Okay, 1, 2, 3 points. Plug it into that formula. Okay, 1, 2, 3 points. Plug into that formula. Biggest amount is the maximum. Okay, so the maximum here was 144, option 3. All right, is that okay, Reno?
Yeah, no, yeah, that looks like a simple one.
Yeah, those last few weren't too bad. It's those ones that you need to be careful of. The integration, the derivative, especially the higher order derivative and the higher order integration. Those ones are always tricky. You just need to be very, very careful. Just be careful you don't make any mistakes. All right. Okay. All right, Rainer. So next week I'll see you on Wednesday, actually.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go through anything. Obviously, by Wednesday you would have done some revision. You would have gone through a few more questions. I think what we can do next week, because you've got all the past papers that I've sent you previously, try to do as many of those questions as you can. The ones that you get stuck on, can we look at those next week?
Okay.
Okay. If
that
you want
sounds
me
like
to
a
go
good
through
plan.
a whole paper again, we can. But let's address the ones that you're struggling with, because a lot of them are quite simple. Some of them are a bit tricky. So if you do have some time, maybe try to do some of it ahead of time to see which ones you're struggling with, and then those ones we can go through in more detail.
Okay.
Because we don't have other past papers. We've just got the ones that I've got, but these are quite old. These are a bit outdated. Okay, if you can get your hands on other exam papers before next week, and if they do post more, then we could even do one of those if you want to. But it's up to you. I think next week.
Sometimes they put a mock exam up.
That's good.
Yeah, I've asked some of the other ones for extra exams, and they didn't actually want to give any additional ones.
All right, so let's check what you've got next week. If you have a mock exam, brilliant. We can go through that even.
Okay.
Okay, because the mock exam might even be very similar to the exam.
Yeah,
Okay, if you
yes.
can't get a mock exam or if you don't have anything additional, then we can just look at questions from before that you might want me to go back and look at again. That's fine.
Okay,
All right. Okay, Reno.
okay, okay, thanks.
Perfect. Pleasure. Thank you.